right, prop the mic here. How's it going?
Good. It's good. Nice slow night of NBA last night.
Yes.
So I'm excited for a huge night tonight.
Second to last Friday night of the NBA regular season. Can you believe it?
I can. I can't believe those games last night though. The Celtics just trashed the Bucks in Milwaukee. That was atrocious. That killed like every over prop that anybody had on the Bucks side.
Yeah.
And then the Nuggets game as well was.
Well, didn't it finish at wasn't the line like 239.5 and it finished at 239 or something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, I thought
I was on a 250 line.
That's right.
Which I just gave up on once the Bucks had like 70 points in the third quarter.
I had a feeling after that, who was it? They played Washington. That game against Washington, and then Milwaukee was on a back-to-back. So I didn't think it was going to be that crazy, but I had a feeling Boston would win last night.
Big statement game for the Celtics. Yep. All right, so you want to dive into today? We got 13 games.
Yep.
Take a breath.
Okay.
I think we got something for 10 of the 13 games. But we're gonna have to move fairly quickly to try to get through it all. So let's go.
Let's do it.
First game, we got the Bulls at the Hornets. Hornets are getting 10 at home. Totals 224.5. I saw Rozier, our boy Terry, is out. Not sure.
Yeah, looks like Hayward also doubtful. So I got nothing on the Charlotte side. One, the lineups are in flux, and Chicago's actually I said on the Charlotte side, I think. Chicago's been pretty good defensively, not a lot of big games being allowed. Drummond would be in a nice spot here if he plays. Not sure. I think he's questionable. DeRozan and Levine also in good spots. And I'd also look at Ao and Kobe White. Good spots. I only have one, though. DeMar DeRozan over 4.5 rebounds. Little juicy at minus 150, but he's done it in 6 straight road games, averaging 6.5, and 7 of his last 10 overall, averaging 6.1.
Yeah, I saw that one, too. I started looking at Vus. I thought this was a good matchup for Vus, but he actually, in the 3 games they played Charlotte, he hasn't performed both in points or rebounds. So I was then looking for who else could be grabbing rebounds. I think DeRozan's a good way to go. Yeah,
it's a good one. A little sneaky there, but
a little sneaky.
That's all I got. So let's move on.
All right, Thunder at the Pacers. Halliburton's out on the Pacers side. Pacers are getting 3.5 at home. Totals 237.5. Before we dive into the game, it's interesting. I found out that the Thunder are the top team in terms of creating opposing team turnovers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, right?
Wow.
The second team was actually the Raptors, and I have a related play on that in the next game when we get there. But I was looking for opportunities for steal props or something like that on this one. But the Pacers actually have been handling the ball pretty well in the last couple of games, despite Halliburton being out. So
yeah.
But that is probably a reason why the Thunder are in the mix still.
Yeah. That's an interesting stat. Matchup wise, your ball handlers are a nice matchup here against the Thunder. So that's Halliburton as your primary, Nembhard and McConnell as your secondary. They kind of move up to the primary with McConnell out. So I actually like both these guys. I was on both of them 2 days ago, I think. Let's start with Nembhard here. I like his points, 13.5 points. He's done this in 7 of 8 without Halliburton, averaging 17.5. He's done it in 7 of 8 without Halliburton and Chris Duarte, averaging 19. He's done it in 5 of 6 without Halliburton and with Buddy Hield, averaging 17.8. And the last one, he's done it in 5 of 6 without Halliburton and Duarte and with Buddy, averaging 20 points per game.
All right, so every possible combination of players.
He just dominated. 7 of 8, 7 of 8, 5 of 6, 5 of 6. So I think this is pretty nice. He crushed the other day when I had him. So I like that here.
Didn't he have like 15 rebounds too? Not rebounds, assists the other day?
Assists, yeah, 13 or something like that.
Something like that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So, okay. I like that. Anybody else?
Yeah. And then I think we got a guy. I know he burned us the other day, but I'm going back to TJ here. I like his assist line, but it's minus 150. However, he's done it in 12 of 15 without Halliburton and with Buddy, averaging 8.5. And he's also done it in his last 5 straight games without Halliburton and Buddy at home, averaging 9.2 assists per game.
What is the line? 6.5?
6.5. It was 7.5 the other day.
Yeah.
But minus 150. If you don't like the minus 150, I also like his RA line. So it's 10.5, minus 135. Instead of doing it in 12 of 15 without Halliburton and with Buddy Hield, he's done it in 11 of 15 without Hallie and with Buddy, averaging 13 RA. And then this is good. His last 5 straight games without Halliburton and with Buddy Hield at home, averaging 15 RA in his last 5 games.
Yeah, my only concern, like, do we know why he only played 20 minutes? Because when we, in the last game, because when we put out our plays, our assumption was he would play about 27 minutes, which was...
I think it was because Nemhard was playing so well.
Right. So that would be my only caution on this.
Stuck with the hot hand, you know?
Yeah, are they... I don't know what McConnell's, contract is, if he's like moving on after this year from them, and they just want to take a look at the other guys. But I'd just be careful.
He's been on the
his
playing I hear you. It's good point to call out. Yeah. I know he's been on Pacers for several years now, so I don't know. But these ones look good on paper. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Raptors at the Sixers. Sixers are -5 at home. Totals 224. What do you like here?
So I was about to have nothing on this game. This game was going to be a cross off, and then
you ended up with like 7 picks.
Yeah. So this game was going to be a cross off, and I went through all the games, and then I'm like, the one other thing I like to do is if nothing was popping, and I have a team that's on like 2 days rest, I'll do a little extra digging in there. So just before I crossed them off, Toronto's on 2 days rest here, and they have some really, really compelling stuff on 2 days rest.
Okay.
Did you have anything on this game?
I have 2 picks, but both on the Sixers side.
Oh, okay. All right, so let me do Toronto, and then
you do.
And then
you do Toronto.
Sixers. I actually have nothing on the Sixers side. So, Siakam here, 5.5 assists. It's plus 118. He's done it in his last 11 of 12 games against the Sixers, averaging 7.1 assists per game. That includes all 3 times they played this season, 6, 6, and 13. And then when he's on 2 days rest, he's played 6 times on 2 days rest this season. His assist output, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 6.
Nice.
How cool is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have a data point from him playing in Philly, because he is a significantly better home player, right? But you said they played 3 times, so I know 2 of those were in Toronto, and I'm assuming the third was in Philly. So,
yeah,
right. So that's good that he cleared the line in Philly. That gives me some hope there.
Yeah, it was actually the last time they played. Yeah, it was that.
Okay.
It was back in December, so it's been a while. But
yeah.
And then I also liked his points here. He's done it 9 of 12 against Philly. The reason you have so many data points is because they played a playoff series against each other. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
So those also, you can't take a ton into them, but you also have recent stuff from the season as well. So over 21.5 points, minus 110, 9 of 12 against Philly, averaging 26 points. His last 2 games against Philly this season, he had 38. That was in Philly, I believe. I'll tell you right. Yeah, that was in Philly. And then 26 the previous game. And then this is great. His last 5 of 6 games on 2 days rest, averaging 28.3 points per game on 2 days rest this season.
Yeah. Yeah, he's really playing well of late, so I like that play.
Okay. Scotty Barnes, over 4.5 assists. Nice. Plus 120. He's also done this in 5 of 6 on 2 days rest. Almost double, averaging 8.2 assists per game in his 6 games on 2 days rest this season. And then just overall, in his last 2 games, overall, he had 12 assists in his previous game and six the game before.
Yeah, and I think Van Vliet was playing in that game too. So
I believe so. Yeah.
So that's good. That would be the one extra layer of digging. Van Vliet was out for a period of time, so I would just dive into that a little bit more and see, of any of these 2 games rest, if Van Vliet was in them or out of them, because obviously he counts for 6-7 assists a game. But I know for sure that 12 assist game was recent, and he was in that one. So nice. I like that.
I just had 2 more real quick. OG over 5.5 RA. He's done this in 5 straight games this season on 2 days rest, averaging 9 RA. The last 2 times he played Philly this season, he had 7 and 10. And he's done in 7 of his last 10 overall against Philly, averaging 6.8. All really nice. Yeah.
When you give me a prop that has 2 components to it, rebounds and assists, and is under 6, that just like my heart starts beating faster. Like that's nothing I love more than that. Like that you get
even if it's minus 150.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, then if you don't like the odds, then maybe you can do 6.5, right? Alt it up.
All right.
So
I'm glad I got you juiced up this morning here.
I'm ready.
All right. One more. I'm sorry. Jakob Poeltl over 12.5 points is plus 100. He's done in 4 straight games against Philly, averaging 17.8. 6 of 7 on 2 days rest this season, averaging 14.9. And his last 6 of 7 on the road, averaging 16.1.
Okay, so basically you got something on the entire starting lineup except for Van Vliet.
Yeah.
I don't really understand I saw the trend on Poeltl. I don't really understand why he plays so well against Embiid.
It makes no sense.
Right?
It makes no sense. I have no idea.
Right? I mean, Embiid is more of an offensive player than a defensive player, but he's not a bad defensive player.
Pretty good defensive player.
Yeah. So, all right. Whatever.
He cares, That's
he
usually matters
plays hard,
the most on
especially
defense.
at home. Mm-hmm. All right, let me go on the Philly side. You want the over or the under? Because I got one of each.
An under. Give me the
Let's
over.
Start with the under. So we finish on a positive note. All right. I went with James Harden under 20.5 points.
Okay.
0 for his last 5 games at home. Right?
Mm-hmm.
5 straight home games. He hasn't hit it. 1 for his last 7 games overall. And here are his 3 games against Toronto this year: 18, 11, and 14. So Toronto plays some pretty good lockdown D.
They did.
And the total in this game is only 224. And I think, he will be dishing the ball more than he is shooting it. So I like that. He's also coming off of, I think he played 1 game since coming back from injury, but maybe they'll be resting him a little bit more than usual. So I just like the history, the poor performance against Toronto historically.
Yeah. All right. I can get. I don't love the unders, but I can. I see it. I can get behind this. Yeah.
Okay. And then on the over side, I liked his counterpart Maxey over 20.5 points. I just looked at the games in which both Harden and Embiid played, because you take one of those guys out, that obviously changes the whole dynamic of this team.
Yeah.
So 7 of the last 10 games with Harden and Embiid, he's been very hot of late. And his 2 games against Toronto, both in Toronto, 31 and 44.
And the game with 31, Embiid and Harden both played in that game.
I think they both played. They played in both.
No, Harden was out the big game.
Oh, the 44 game. Yeah, he had, I think, 9 3-pointers in that.
Maybe Embiid was out that game.
In that second game.
Oh no, sorry, Embiid was out that game.
Embiid was out. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think Maxey is hot, and I think he's going to be performing well against Toronto tonight. So.
All right. I like it. The over on the one guard, the under on the other. I like
it. Hopefully it doesn't flip flop and I get burned on both. So, all right. Magic at the Wizard. It's an even game. So pick them. Totals 225. Beal and Kuzma are out, which automatically says go back to Denny.
Yeah.
Denny Day, right?
Denny Day. I think it wasn't the par 26.5 the other day.
Yeah, it's up to 28.
Yeah, it's 28.5 now.
Mm-hmm.
Went up too, but I'm still I'm going right back to it. And it's minus 140 at 28.5. But 4 straight games without Beal and Kuzma, and pretty good matchup. I'm sticking with this one here. I like it.
Yeah, and he came close on most of his points, rebounds, assists against Orlando when they played about a week or so ago with Beal, and I think Kuzma was in the lineup as well. Beal definitely was. So without those guys in, he's clearly going to dominate. I also liked his assists. 4.5 assists, minus 130 in the last 4 games without Beal and Kuzma. He's had 6, 6, 7, and 5, and in the one game with them versus Orlando, he had 5. So he cleared it even with them. I think it's another approach to this if you are getting scared by the big numbers, but he's pretty dominant. And his minutes too, if you look at that chart, they're just going up. He's playing like big minutes now, 35, 36 minutes. So good.
Yep. All right. That's all I had on the Washington side. I got a couple here on the Orlando side.
Okay.
First one, so stationary shooters have a really nice matchup here against Washington. So that's Gary Harris. So his points, 7.5 points, minus 115. He's done in 4 straight games against Washington, averaging 14 points. Wow. Double his line tonight. Yeah. He's done it in the last 4 or 5 overall, averaging 10.6. He's done it in his last 5 of 7 without his brother, Kevin Harris, 8.6.
That's his brother?
Game. No.
Oh, I thought that. And well, they do have brothers on the team.
I know. They do. Yeah. Orlando's a team of brothers. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also done this in 11 of his last 13 games on 2 days rest, averaging 13.8 points per game. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That gets me equally as pumped up as OG.
I know it's not his RA line this time. Usually when we play Gary Harris, it seems like it's been his, right?
We do the par.
Par.
We do the par at like 11 10 and a half par.
Like yeah. Those are great. All right. Okay. Next one. A PTM All-Star, Mr. Franz Wagner. Over 25.5 par. We also had this the other day, right? We played his par the other day.
Same line.
He's done it in his last 4 of 5 on 2 days rest, averaging just under 30 par in his 5 games on 2 days rest. And he's also done it in 4 of his last 5 against the Wizards, averaging 32 par in his 5 games against the Wizards.
Yeah, he looked like he was dead in the water, and then he scored like 16 19 points or something like that in the fourth quarter. So
yeah,
hopefully he doesn't wait till the end. And hopefully we also don't post a picture of Mo Wagner.
That would be good.
When Franz wins.
It's pretty crazy. Not only are they brothers that look very similar, they both played at the same college too, and now they're on the same NBA team. So it's like, come on, man, let's see a Michigan jersey. It's like, no, it could be Mo also. Yeah, I learned my lesson. All right,
it's all right.
Did you have anything else? Because I got one more guy.
No, I had nothing else on this game.
Okay, I got your heart fluttering on 2 already today. I think I got one more for you. All right,
let's go.
Wendell Carter, your boy. You got the hat on. All right, over 1.5 assists. It is minus 160, but he's done this in 13 of 14 games on 2 days rest, averaging 3 assists per game. He's also done it in 3 straight games against Washington with 2 assists in every game.
I like that.
Against Washington. Yes, I knew you would.
I like that.
You would. And if you like it, and if you're a little worried about that, I also like his points and the PA. You could do that as well. The points, 15.5. He's done in 6 straight games on 2 days rest this season, averaging just under 20 points a game on 2 days rest.
No, what I like to do when you get these like minus 160s, but it's a really good play, what I like to do is go find another prop for that same player that like is like almost 100% hit rate. Like find his rebounds, 6 rebounds or something like that. it'll be minus 700. But when you put it together, you actually get like respectable odds. It's a nice way to kind of have this be your primary play and then have that one just get the odds to be a little better.
All right.
Okay.
Very good. Let's keep going.
Nice. Why is this a pick'em game? The Magic should win this game, no? Seems weird.
Magic, I would think so. Yeah, I love the Magic in this game.
All right. Let's just totally breeze over the Jazz Celtics. Celtics are minus 13.5 at home. Total's 232. Let's just move on. Good?
Yep.
All right. Hawks at the Nets. Nets are +2 at home. If I wasn't going to a school play tonight, I would have gone to this game because I really want to go see this game.
You have to pay your respects.
Yes. The total's 240.5, so this is going to be a tremendous amount of scoring. Anyway, so what do you like?
Good thing I have so many picks for this game.
You do, which is only going to make it worse for me.
Why?
And what do we do in the morning? What's our routine? We wake up, we have some coffee.
Capella's rebound line.
Oh, sorry. We look at the Capella rebound line. Hopefully you did that today, right?
I did do that today.
Good. Okay.
You want to start on the Atlanta side?
Yeah, you go with the matchups, though. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
All right. Matchup-wise, all right, so against Atlanta, rolling cut bigs. So Claxton's got a nice matchup. Shot-creating guards, Dinwiddie, very nice matchup. Forwards, the finish at the rim, which is DFS. Also nice matchup. And then Royce O'Neal, stationary shooter as well. So a lot of guys in nice matchups against Atlanta here. And then on the Brooklyn defensive side, rolling cut bigs as well. Good matchups. That's Capella and Okongwu. That's really about it. So I have a feeling you got something on your main man, Capella, here. So why don't you take it away?
Yeah. I just went with his rebounds, over 10.5 rebounds, minus 140. 2 games versus Brooklyn, he had 11 and 12. That second game where he had 12 was against the actual Brooklyn team that you're looking at now, right? So that's the more relevant of the 2 games. And he only played 19 minutes in that game and had 12 rebounds. So my concern about Capella, why I started back off of him, was just playing time. He was getting lower and lower. Okongwu was getting more minutes. But if you look in the last 6 games, he has crossed this in 4 of 6, and he's playing an average of 28 minutes. So as these games are getting more and more important, becoming more like playoff games for them, they're starting to release his minutes a little bit. And some of these games in that last 6, he had. This is why I always loved Capella, because when he hits it, he doesn't beat it by 1. He like crushes the lines. He had a game with 16, with 17, with 16. So I think this could very well be a 16 rebound game for him tonight.
All right. We'll adjust that line up. Get some nice odds. All right. Yeah, I was also on Capella. I saw when I looked, it was I had it at 11.5 rebounds with plus money. But even that one, he's done in 6 of 8 on 2 days rest. So I thought that was nice. I also liked his points. I thought 11.5 points. Minus 110. He's done it in 7 of 8 games on 2 days rest this season, averaging 15.3. His last 5 of 6 overall, and his last 7 of 9 on the road. So looking pretty nice. And if you want to tack on one Capella assist that I know you love, he's also done that in 7 of 9 on 2 days rest, 4 of 5 on 2 days rest, and 6 of 7 overall. So you could tack on that one assist.
Maybe you put a Carter 1.5 assist, Capella 1 assist, and when we go to the next game, I have another big on assists. So we'll talk about that.
All right.
I have one more play on the Hawks side. Did you have anybody else on the Hawks?
On the Hawks, no.
All right. I like John Collins tonight. 11.5 points. I just love his recent play. He has crossed this in 2 of 2 games versus Brooklyn. And in his last 5 games, he's averaging 14.6 points. So whether or not this is a strong matchup, I just love kind of where he's at of late.
Yeah, I think he's crushing that line.
Okay,
nice, good. All right. So do you have anything on Brooklyn?
No, I laid off the Brooklyn side.
You laid off. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. You've been all over this Dinwiddie assist thing. I thought
but it's high now. It's up to like 9.5 assists, right?
It's 9.5. It's plus money. He's done it in 4 straight home games: 11, 12, 11, and 11. And he's done it in 7 of 10 overall. So he's in a good matchup here. I think we should go with it. I like it.
I like it too. I just, when I was mentioning it
at
to you,
7.5 or 8.5.
No, it was like 6.5 back then.
Wow.
And you could get like plus 300 for 10 assists still. So that was what was exciting me then.
Yeah.
But still, it's a good play. And Trae Young doesn't really play any defense. So I think he'll be there's not a lot of pressure on him in this game. So I like it.
All right. The other guy mentioned that was in a nice matchup here was our man DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith. All right. He's actually points, rebounds, and assists are all, I think they're all good for him tonight. His point line is only 7.5 and his plus 100. His last 3 games against Atlanta, 12, 9, and 11. All right. Okay. His rebound line is 4.5. His last 4 games against Atlanta, 8, 9. Then he had a game with 4, but then back to 8 again. All right. And then his assist line is 1.5 and his plus 115. His last 4 games against Atlanta, 3, 3, 2, 2. He's also cleared 1.5 assists in 6 of 9 games at home since he was traded to the Nets.
I like that. You're loving all the low assist lines tonight.
I am. And if you want to just like not have all these separate and just want to do a nice low par line, 12.5 par, minus 130, 4 straight games against Atlanta, 23, 21, 17, and 15.
Yeah, I'm most interested in that game on February 26th because that was in his current situation. He had 23 par in that game in 32 minutes. So he did play big minutes. But if you look at his last 4 games, his minutes are back on the rise. So he is, he'll probably get about 26, 27 minutes is my guess tonight. So
I like the par the best, I think. I like them all individually, but I think it gives you the most flexibility. He's done it in 4 straight games. The fact that he crushed it by 10 par in that last game, not even a month ago.
And he had 12 points in that game. So you basically need, what was the par line? It was 12.5. So you need just get that 1 assist and you're all good.
Yeah. And then one more real quick, Royce O'Neal, 13.5 PR plus 100. He's done it in 4 of 5 against Atlanta, averaging 14.6, 6 of 10 overall. And his last 3 games at home, 14, 20, and 20.
Nice. Yeah. Good. All right. You ready to move on?
Yep.
Got about 100 games left to cover. Yeah. So we got the Knicks at the Cavs. Cavs are minus 3.5 at home. Total is a nice low 220. What do you like here?
I got nothing on the Knicks side. I'm a little, I guess then the play would be Brunson with Randall out, right?
That's right. Randall's out for the next 2 weeks, I think, or something like that.
At least 2 weeks if he's not done for the season.
That'll be interesting to see what this team looks like.
Without him, yeah. I'm curious. I didn't pick the best team to have to try to do that against, but
No.
So I got nothing on the Knicks side. Did you have anything on the Knicks side?
No, I'm going to go on the Cavs side. I'm going to research this.
Look for something. Okay.
Randall.
All right. There's not too many games. He hasn't missed too many games this year.
Yeah, he does play everything.
Yeah. So I like. This is another one of those games that was about to cross off, and then Cleveland's on 2 days rest, so I did a little extra digging. Evan Mobley over 2.5 assists. We've played this before. 5 straight games against the Knicks, 3, 3, 3, 5, 5. 5 of 6 on 2 days rest, averaging 4.3. 8 of 10 overall. 7 of 8 without Allen. 4 of 5 without Isaac Okoro.
That was also my only play on this game was
really?
Mobley. Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. I said we got the Carter assist for a big man, we got a Capella assist, and we also got Mobley assist. So
what's better than a 0.5, 1.5, 2.5 assist parlay? That's pretty nice, right?
Yeah. And his last 2 games too, I think he had 5 and 6 assists. I don't know if you just said that, but
Yeah, something like very recently. Yeah, it's been, I think, 6 assists, something like that.
he really is like, he's going to be a star.
He's
He's so good, and he's still so young, right? Isn't he like 20 years old?
Yeah.
Something like that. Like he's going to be so good. He's just getting better and better. So it's nice. Good.
Yeah,
I love that.
I've heard people speak about him and Kevin Garnett in similar sentences.
It's a similar game.
Yeah. And then one other. I like Mitchell. Anytime Mitchell's playing the Knicks, I think it's a good spot. This was a sneaky one though. Not his points, his assists. 3.5 assists. He's done it in 8 of his last 10 on 2 days rest, averaging 5.2, and 5 straight games against the Knicks. This season, 8, 5, and 12, and then last season on Utah, 6 and 6.
Yeah, and with I don't know, with Randall out of the lineup, I feel like obviously he's not guarding Mitchell, but I just feel like the Knicks are going to be a less physical team. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. All right,
cool. I didn't have anything on the Knicks side, and the only play I had was Mobley on the Cavs side. So you're good to move on?
Yep.
All right. Next game, we got the Pistons at the Rockets. Hear this out. I'm going to say this. The Rockets are minus 6.5 at home. Right? I can't remember the last time the Rockets were minus 6.5. Totals 228. Who do you like?
Who do I like? All right. I don't know. It's a weird game. I think Kmart's in a nice spot here, but he is questionable. And also Kevin Porter and Jalen Green also in nice spots. They're very up and down though. On the Detroit side, I don't know. It's all over the place. I would like to note though, stretch bigs in a good matchup. It is James Wiseman's birthday today, his 22nd birthday, I believe.
Nice.
So if you want to do something with that, you always can. I only have one play from this game. We spoke about it previous pod, I believe, a play we were on early in the season. Jalen Green assists, 3.5 assists, minus 115. Not a lot of backup, just his last 4 games, 5, 4, 4, and 5. That's all I got.
It's not as strong of on the last pod, we said it's not as strong of a play at home as it is away, but it's still good. And we had it at 2.5, so it's coming back up. Yeah. But I think it's still a good play in this game.
Yeah. All right.
I had one play. I had Jalen Green as well. Even though they're home, I like that one. I also liked going back to a turnover prop since we were so successful with LeBron's turnovers the other day in our collab with Proptology.
Can I guess the guy?
Go ahead.
Kevin Porter.
Nope. Other side. Okay. I like
the other side.
Jaden Ivey turnovers. 3.5 turnovers. You get plus 120, right? So plus money. 3.5 turnovers is a lot, right?
Yeah.
But in the new look Pistons, so which is basically the month of March when they started sitting everybody, 8 of 11 he's had 3.5 turnovers. His last 3 games where he's like really taken over, he's averaged 6 turnovers a game in his last 3 games. One game
it makes sense, right? Rookie all of a sudden with more time with the ball in his hand leads to more turnovers, right?
Yep.
I like that.
This is going to be like a messy game, right? There's going to be a lot of
I would think so.
So much pace and turnover after turnover. So I think this is really good. You get plus 120 again. If you live in a state where they don't offer this pregame, look at it. Like FanDuel offers it once the game starts. So I would jump on it. Okay.
All right.
Next game, we got the Clippers at the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are minus 5 at home. Totals 236.5. What do you like here?
All right. Ja is in an incredible matchup here against the Clippers.
They just played the other day, right?
Yeah, they did just play the other day. He had 36 points in that game. So Ja, and then I also like Dylan Brooks also in a nice matchup here against the Clippers. And then on the other side, Kawhi is in a nice matchup here against Memphis, as well as Eric Gordon. I'd look at those 2 guys. I like Ja here. I like it I basically like his points, his rebounds, and his assists all independently here tonight.
Yeah.
27.5 points. He's done it in 4 straight games against the Clippers. He had 36 on Wednesday and then 30, 28, 28. He's also done this in 7 of 10 at home when he plays more than 25 minutes. So that was nice. His rebounds, 5.5 rebounds, plus 115. He's done this in 7 of 8 at home. His last 7 of 8 at home when he plays more than 25 minutes. Basically just knocking out those first few games he came back and was playing 20-something minutes. So, and averaging 8 rebounds per game in those 8 home games, his last 8 home games. And then 7.5 assists. He's also done in 7 of 8 at home with 25-plus minutes, averaging 10 assists per game in his last 8 home games. And he had 9 assists on Wednesday against the Clippers.
Nice.
Yeah.
So obviously you go for the par as well.
Go for the par, or you
any of those
together and have a nice parlay.
Okay. And Brooks, what do you like there?
Brooks 5.5 RA. I know this is near and dear to your heart. Minus 102, also very nice. He's done this in his last 4 of 5 with Morant in the lineup and with Brandon Clark out of the lineup, averaging 7.5 RA in those 5 games. And he had 10 RA against the Clippers on Wednesday.
Beautiful. I'm going right to that after this pod. That's a definite play right there.
Yes.
What about Luke Kennard?
Oh, that's right. How could I forget? Let's hear it.
I like his points this time. 9.5 points. He's hit this in 9 of 10 straight games, and in the 2 games that he's played against the Clippers. So he's actually already played the Clippers twice since they traded him.
Wow.
And he's going to play them a 3rd time tonight. He's put up 15 and 13, and his minutes. Why I really like it is not just because he's hot, but also his minutes are on the rise. The last 5 games, he's played 26.4 minutes. So that's pretty significant for him. He used to be more of a role player. Now he's in the mix in the offense. So I like that a lot. I think 9.5 points could cash in the first half possibly for him. So
nice. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. All right. Anybody on the Clippers side?
No, I'd like to. I didn't see lines out on Kawhi yet.
He was questionable. So.
Yeah. So I would. I'm going to look at him later, but nothing right now.
All right, let's go. Lakers at the T-Wolves. T-Wolves are minus 1.5. Total is 233. We had a play out on Twitter from the newest member of our team, or our PTM team. I'd like to name her. This is our artificial intelligence team member. I'd like to name her Janet. Janet, in honor of. Did you ever see the show The Good Place?
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes.
You remember the woman the robot woman who would just appear out of nowhere?
Yes.
Her name was Janet. So
okay.
All right. So that's our newest member of the PTM team.
Jan. All right.
Jan. You're already given her nicknames. All right. Go ahead.
I had nothing from this game. Minnesota, nothing was popping off defensively against Minnesota. They've been pretty good recently. I also looked. Usually I've been doing my splits, my research, going back to February 1st, January 1st. But since so much has changed, it seems right around March 1st, I started looking just post March 1st, and nothing popping for Minnesota here. And only one popping for the Lakers, really. I think it's Cat Day. He's been hot since he came back. I like his assists here. It's a play that's I've liked over the past season or two. 3.5 assists, minus 155. He's done this in his last 5 of 6 games without Naz Reid. Naz Reid's done for the season after he hurt his wrist or whatever, averaging 5.5 assists per game in his 6 games without Reid this season. He's also he had 7 assists against the Lakers back on October 28th. Naz Reid did not play in that game. He's also done it in 6 straight games on one-day rest at home, averaging 6.3 assists when he's on one-day rest at home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I love that play earlier in the season. We haven't played it, obviously, because he hasn't played. But this seems to make sense.
Yeah, maybe even a little bit better. So that the assist was minus 155. I also like his RA, 11.5 RA, minus 130. He's done it so the assist was 5 of 6 without Reed. The RA is 6 of 6 without Reed, averaging 14.8. He had 15 RA in that game against the Lakers on October 28th. And he's done this in 4 of his last 5 on one-day rest at home, averaging 14.5 RA. So I like Cat there. And then I think his points are also really good. So it's 21.5 points. That game in October against the Lakers, he had 21. So he would have gotten hooked in that game. But last season, in 2 games against the Lakers, 30 and 28. So just crushed the Lakers the 2 times they played last season. And then his last 2 games without Naz Reid this season, 23 and 29.
Yeah, and he's just bombing away from 3. So could be easy. So Janet's play was Conley over 11.5 points. 7 of his last 10, 6 of his last 7, 2 out of 3 with Cat in the lineup. Now let's talk about we did like him against Phoenix, and he only put up 7 points. But what I take from that is he went 3 for 13 shooting, so had huge volume, and within that he had 1 for 7 from 3. So he just shot poorly. The volume was huge. I think he's still going to continue to get a lot of shots. Last 3 games against the Lakers, 15, 14, 14. So
yeah. It's like the rejuvenated Mike Conley of, like 5-6 years ago, it looks like. I don't know what's going on there in Minnesota, but just as you're ready to write them off, I don't know. They're looking really good. And that's really good with Ant not playing well. So,
and his focus seems to be in Minnesota. His focus seems to be more on scoring, whereas previously he was more of an assist guy. So I like the points here.
Yeah, that's a nice
okay.
One. Janet knows what she's talking about. So
Janet's going to go 1-0.
Yeah,
she's going to earn her spot back tomorrow, maybe. All right, skipping the Spurs at the Warriors. This is just disgusting. Warriors minus 18 at home. Totals 241.5. Warriors really aren't good enough to deserve minus 18 against anybody. So my only take on this would be think about going with the Spurs and the points.
Yeah.
Then we got an equally disgusting game. The Kings at the Blazers. Blazers are getting 14 at home. Totals 231. We are going to go into this one. These teams just played, so you got some recency. Yeah. If you remember before we dove into the player props, I did say take the Kings minus 14 points because the Blazers are losing by 30 points almost every game, and yet it's a 14-point line again. So I would even suggest looking at an altered line before this game of like Kings minus 30, and get some real awesome odds and put a little sprinkle on that. All right,
nice, good advice. I like that.
What do you like on the player prop side?
Player prop side. So obviously Portland is all new players. They're sitting everybody. So I like. But what's nice about this is that you have the Portland with the new lineup, but Sacramento's setting out the same lineup. So we can look at their historic, like their DVP matchups here, with these new guys. So I like that because you're going to get some good value here. So the one I have right now that I like is Drew Eubanks over 6.5 rebounds. It's minus 140. He's done this in his last 7 of 8 without Nurkic and Jeremy Grant in the lineup, averaging 8.3 rebounds per game. And that game against Sacramento, whatever that was, 2 days ago, he had 11 rebounds in that game.
Wow. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, who else is going to grab him?
Yeah. So the other thing is so you don't just have like the big guns out here for Portland, but you even got like Ryan Arcidiacono's out. Keon Johnson, Anthony Simons, Cam Reddish is doubtful. Justice Winslow. So you're going to have a lot of guys. So all that says is that I think Sharp here is a great play. I also think if there's lines on Kevin Knox, I think he's probably a good play here too. A lot of these role players are going to have big nights, but all I had right now, Drew Eubanks, 6.5 rebounds.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I'm looking. They lost by 40 to the Kings. They lost by 34 to the Pelicans. Then they lost by 6 to the Thunder. And they lost by 28 to the Bulls, right? So that's like how they've been performing with this new squad. So just to give you kind of a reference, if you did 28 points, Kings minus 28, you can get plus 440. If you did Kings minus, what was the next game? 34 points, right? Or 33.5, that's plus 920. And if you have the Kings just repeating this demolition, minus 37.5 is plus 1,300. So,
interesting.
So I would look at one of those for sure on top of the Eubanks play. I think it's good.
Yeah, I like that. The other guy, just to note here, if it is a big blowout, Malik Monk, in these blowouts, just absolutely crushes. I just split out Sacramento wins by 10 plus. His last 6 games, 19, 17, 15, 20, 22, when they blow out their opponent. So look at him also.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. I think if you're going to play anybody on the Kings side, don't play the starters. I think that they could be sitting the whole second half.
This is like Trey Lyles, Malik Monk. Those are the guys you want to look at here.
Okay. All right. And then the last game, I think we're also going to more or less pass. Nuggets at the Suns. Suns were, I don't know if any further news on Jokic came out, but they were minus 10 at home. Total was 226.5. So with that spread, my assumption is Jokic is out. And if that's the case, the one play we did have that we posted up earlier was Durant, 5.5 rebounds. He's done it in all 4 games on the Suns, and he has done this in his last 2 games against the Nuggets that he played on when he was on the Nets, which was all the way back to 2021. And Jokic played in both of those games. And Brandon Ingram, just who you and I were texting back and forth, we feel like he's got the same game as Durant. He just demolished the Nuggets last night on the boards. I think he had 10 or 11.
Great comp.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
I like that.
Anything else in this for you?
I almost had a play on Josh Okogie. Surprisingly, one, he's in a good spot, and I thought the return of Durant would impact him. He's actually, if you filter out games, the 4 games he's played with Durant, his points 10, 9, and 25. He had 9 rebounds in the last game that Durant played, and he's in a good matchup here. So I look at him. And then on the other side, MPJ in a great matchup, even more so if Jokic is out against Phoenix here. So I would definitely look at Michael Porter Jr. Later as well.
Nice. I like those. Yeah. All right, cool. That is 13 games in a nutshell.
48 minutes.
48 minutes. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So enjoy the games, and we'll get the best of the best up on Twitter shortly. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Nice work.
All right. Bye.
Bye.